I've spoken about my hiking sticks before. These are simply amazing, but I've never shown you how I make them. Let me tell you a little bit about them first. I was hiking, running on a trail once, and I came across this old codger. He looked like Grizzly Adams. Beard. He had a dog that looked as grizzly as he was. And I noticed immediately that he was using some hiking sticks. And I thought, where in the world did you get these? How did you make them? I asked if I could hold them, and he handed me one. It was as light as a feather. It was lighter than any kind of hiking stick I'd ever seen before. And it was sturdy, strong as steel. He told me that he created them from yucca stalks. And so I decided I'd go ahead and give it a try. So I found some yucca stalks that were last year's yucca stalks. And the important thing with that is when you harvest a yucca stalk, you want to clean it of all material, and certainly any seeds. You want to leave the seeds around where the plant was growing. And I've done this on an old abandoned golf course. And a few years after I've harvested yucca stalks in a little grove, I noticed that grove has expanded. So my process is very good for the environment. When you harvest this stalk, what it's going to do is it's going to strengthen the plant, and then the seeds are going to grow new yucca plants. And so you've got a little grove that you're creating. At the same time, you've got the best hiking sticks imaginable. Now, these hiking sticks, what makes them so good is that, as I said, they are as strong as steel. I use them like ski poles when I'm running a long uphill run in the mountains. I'm gaining, like over a few miles, I'm gaining a few thousand feet. And I use them as, like I said, like ski poles that harness the my upper body strength and pull me forward. Gives my body a little rest every other step because I'm using my arms. On the way down, I use them to vault over rocks and little gullies, and if I'm climbing down an area, I can plant these and actually just lower myself, vault in a way, but lower myself down. What it does is it protects my knees, my ankles, every joint in my body. It gives me extra stability on the trail so that I'm not, I'm not going to sprain my ankle, not going to lose my footing so easily. And especially if I'm not on a trail, but I'm out in the wilderness, these are almost essential. They last, one pair will last about, I'd say at least a year. It eventually wears down, but it's, this thing is going to just last you. You will be able to traverse rocky ground. You'll be able to plant this anywhere. And another value of this is that, if you lost it. It's all biodegradable. If it broke, and I've never had one break, but if it broke, it would, you could just leave it in the forest, and it just disintegrates and no problem. Another thing is that with all the pressure I put on these, they're not going to collapse. I've had the collapsible hiking sticks before, and they can't take the kind of punishment that I put this hiking stick through. They will collapse, they'll break, they'll bend. These are as sturdy as you can. Like I said, you can use them to vault over any kind of obstacle on a run. So anyway, this is amazing tool that I can create, use for a year, and then create a new one. Now, in answer to the question, where do I find the hiking sticks? Here they are. They are yucca stalks, and they need to be last year's yucca stalks. So step number one is to look at the stalks and take a look at which ones might work best. And what you need is a straight section about 6 feet long. And it looks like we've got a straight section at the bottom of this stalk. And it looks like it's going to be about the right thickness, because that's another issue. You want to have a thickness that can't be too thin or they'll be wobbly and break. It can't be too thick or they won't be comfortable to hold. So here's a couple more. And it looks like there is a straight section on all 3 of these stalks here that would work for us. So what we're going to do, let's see. Let's try this one on the left. Okay, the first thing we do is they usually, when they're last year's stalks, they're going to pull off very easily. So let me go ahead and do that now. Okay, this one came off very easily. Now, the second step is to clean it of all the extraneous vegetation matter here. So, here we go. You want to wear gloves for this, because some of these leaves are sharp. So what I'm going to do is this is going to be the part that, the top part, and I need to make sure that my hands are going to fit just right. Now, you'll see where I'm going to wind some twine around the top for a handle, and so it's going to be a little thicker once the handle's on there than it is right now. So I find the exact right spot. And I think that's going to be about here. If you're going to err, you want to err in making it too long, because you can always cut it shorter. You can't make it longer. Okay, there we go. It's a good end. Now, I'm going to stand up and measure this because we want it to be, well, I'll show you the size. Okay, I'd say I want it to be about here. So there we go. Okay, now let's finish cleaning it. There you have it. Perfect size, strength, thickness, everything is perfect. Once I wrap this end with the twine, you have a beautiful handle. Okay, now we're going to get a matching pair. And the best way to get this is to just use this as a measurement on our next piece. So here we go. And there you have it. A perfect matching pair. Okay, we have harvested the yucca stalk, and now it's time to wrap the handle, wrap the end, and make a nice handle. What it's going to look like when we're done, something like this, and it's going to be a little rough at first. We wrap it with twine and soak the twine in waterproof wood glue, which actually soaks it and creates, when it dries, it creates a really nice bond that is as strong as the wood. And so you'll notice here that this is one that I've had for about a year. It didn't start quite as tall as this one that I just harvested today. But you can see that it's quite a bit shorter right now. It was probably up to about here. And so that means that it's worn down about this much in a year. That's why I'm going to wrap it from the top to about this height. And you want to grip this for the best grip, the best ergonomic stability. You want your hand to be about here. You can see the shoulder height. So I'm going to wrap from, just a little below there, all the way up to the top. Now what's going to happen over time is that the end is going to wear down. It's going to take about a year, and it will wear down. And in fact, I just noticed I may need to use a different one, because I don't know if you can see this, but this is hollow. That will wear down very fast. So you want to inspect your yucca stalk really well. Anyway, it will wear down to about to this level, and as it wears down from the bottom up, actually. So the hand eventually is going to hold it, around here near the top, which is where I am with this earlier stalk. And so that's what tells me it's time to wrap a new one. Now, what I'm going to do also is put some wood glue on the tip, see if that extends its life. But the point is, these are just super light and super strong. And so I'm able to vault over obstacles, rocks, boulders. I'm able to use these to pull myself up thousands of feet of grade and harness my upper body strength. So it's a very handy little tool here. And so we're going to go ahead and wrap this. I'll show you the process. I'll speed it up so you don't have to watch the whole process. And when we're done, we'll have something like this. It'll be a little scruffy because this is it's a little harsh on your hands at first. But you can see over time, it doesn't take too long. It smooths out beautifully. It can get wet. It stays put. I haven't had to rewrap this at all in a year, and I would say once a week I do up to 20-30 mile round trip with this. I've done that for over a year, and you can see it still has its entire handle. Very, very sturdy. So anyway, let's go ahead and begin wrapping. One quick note before we start. You must get this very, very clean. You'll notice that there are little loose pieces down below where I'm going to wrap, and so I don't need to worry about those. They'll wear off just in the hiking, but you don't want to have those loose pieces underneath the twine, or it won't hold well. So make sure it is very, very clean. Well, here is the finished product. These hiking sticks are especially good for avalanche slopes. They're going to go up a lot of avalanche slopes in the next 12 months. Darlene thinks that they look like Moses' staff. And, you know, you got to think, where did Moses use his staff? In the wilderness. And so we've come full circle through history. We're going up avalanche slopes, hiking through the wilderness in the area of Las Vegas with an ancient instrument, the Moses staff. There you have it.